Hi everybody, welcome to Lilybugs Library. My name's Linda, and we're going to do a book haul today. I bought a few books the other day, and I don't feel the least bit guilty. So, so let's take a look and see what we got. And I did open the box. I have not taken them out of the box yet. I just didn't want that loud crunching of the cardboard to be in your ears. Well, I guess you'll get a little bit of it anyway. There we go. Okay, so let's see what we've got here. All right, so this one is the second in the Farm to Table mysteries, and it's called Put Out to Pasture. And it says, Shyla Bellamy has saved her family's farm from financial ruin, but now what? She's barely scraping by on the farm's new organic business model, and the fall festival she organized to drum up business comes to a screeching halt when the body of a prominent townswoman is discovered underneath a scarecrow in a nearby field. Worst of all, the evidence points to Shyla's childhood best friend, Christy, as the prime suspect. So, that's interesting. I actually thought Christy was going to be the murderer in the first book, so we'll see. The next one is a Dublin driver mystery, and I haven't read any of those yet. But this one is by Katie Murphy, and it's called Dead in Dublin. Kind of like anything set in Ireland or Scotland, it's usually interesting. So this one says, ferrying tourists around Dublin for the Leprechaun limo service makes quite a change after years in the military. Still, Megan Malone is enjoying her life in Ireland. She likes the scenery, the easy pace, the quirky, quick-witted locals, everything, except having one of her clients drop dead at the statue of fabled fishmonger Molly Malone. Most restaurant critics notch up their share of enemies. Elizabeth Dare, however, was a well-loved international star. She and her husband Simon had just had dinner when Elizabeth collapsed, and spoiled seafood is the first suspect. So, that sounds like it should be good. All right, what else have we got? Okay, this one is called Learning to Pray, A Guide for Everyone. So this one is nonfiction, and it's pretty thick. It just is a brilliant introduction to prayer, a book to treasure and ponder, to read slowly by yourself, listening for God. And it's written by Reverend James Martin, S.J.? Not sure what the S.J. stands for. I don't know what terms that is, but anyway, should be interesting. And let's see, what else do we have? The next one is Donna Andrews, and it's one of the Meg Lanslow mysteries. I've given up trying to read them in order because there's so many of them, so whenever I just happen to come across one on sale or at the library, I just get it. So this one is called The Falcon Always Rings Twice. And it says, when Meg's grandmother Cordelia hosts a Renaissance fair at her craft center, the whole family is put to work. Grandfather is excited for the chance to spend time with the fair's falconer and his hunting birds, a peregrine falcon and a red-tailed hawk. Concerned for the birds' well-being amid all the activity, he appoints himself their protector. When one of the actors performing at the fair is found dead, an actor suspected of mistreating one of the falcons, grandfather, is one of the prime suspects. So, it could be anybody, really. I don't think anybody would like to see birds hurt. Oops. Hello. Are you coming up? Okay. All right, you got to sit down, though, or else the peoples can't see. Preferably not on the books. There we go, down in front. Okay, this one is by Emma Kane, and it's called A Spiced Apple Winter. And it's, I like the cover. It says, actor Tyler Fairfield is a Spencer Hollows' only homegrown celebrity. To Brianna McDougal, he's a friend who became a lover over the course of one wild night in New York. They both agreed it was a mistake, so why can't Bree forget? Maybe, are you going to sit down, mister? Maybe because Tyler makes her feel like the only person in a crowded room, or because his kisses melt her like warm caramel over ice cream. Tyler's back in town means temptation 24/7, Bree has more than enough on her plate, producing a holiday play and running her family's business. But this new secret fling can't last, right? So she intends to enjoy every minute of it. Well, all right. We'll see where that one goes. You are just very nosy. Yes, you are. Very nosy. What are you going to do? Are you going to stay put? Yeah, okay. Well, find a spot. All right. This one is, oh yes, I'm looking forward to this one. This is The Burning Pages by Paige Shelton. And I'm trying to think, oh, it's a Scottish bookshop mystery. That's what the series is called. I've read, I'm not sure how many, 5 maybe? But they're very good. So this one, it says, one winter's night, bookseller Delaney Nichols and her co-worker Hamlet are invited to a Burns night dinner, a traditional Scottish celebration of the poet Robert Burns. She's perplexed by the invitation, but intrigued. The dinner takes place at Burns' house itself, a tiny cottage not far from the cracked spine bookshop, but well hidden. There it becomes clear that Delaney and Hamlet were summoned in an attempt to make amends between Edwin, Delaney's boss, and one of the other invitees who suspected Edwin of burning down his own bookshop 20 years ago after a professional disagreement. But after the dinner, there's another fire. The Burns house itself is burned to the ground, and this time there's a body among the ruins. Okay. That sounds kind of like the Agatha Christie one where they're all trapped together. I think, and then there were none. I think is what it was called. Sounds a little bit like that. Oh, this is a very tiny one. It's making up for that big one. This one's called Sharing Jesus with Confidence. So it's just a little tiny booklet, and it says provides readers with step-to-step guidance on sharing the good news of Jesus. So apparently that's easy because they didn't have to make a big book. So we'll see. All right, we've got 3 left. Oh, another Donna Andrews one. This one is called Murder Most Foul. I just love that cover. It's so cute. And where are you going, mister? Yes, please, get down. Oh my goodness, he's just left tons of cat fur on me. Oh, you're down, now you're up. I was going to say that people didn't come to see you get up and down, but maybe they did. Some of them might have. All right, so with this one, it's another Meg Lanslow mystery. And it says, Meg Lanslow's in for a busy summer. Her husband is directing a production of Macbeth, and most of the cast and crew are occupying spare bedrooms in their house. She also has to keep an eye on Camp Burnham, where a group of medieval reenactors are commemorating the real-life Macbeth by setting up what they fondly believe is an authentic medieval Scottish military camp. And then there's Damien Goodwin, a filmmaker who's been hanging around trying to document the production. When Goodwin hosts a showing of some of his footage, he manages to embarrass or offend just about everyone. The next morning, Meg isn't exactly surprised to find that someone has murdered him. Okay, don't go offending people. The next one is called Jesus Revealed in the End Times. And that's kind of medium size. And it says, let's see, most books about the end times focus on the events described in biblical prophecy, wars, natural disasters, economic turmoil, and more, rather than the one who is revealed in those events. The result, God's people end up fearful about what is to come rather than hopeful about who is to come. But the Bible's prophecies of the last days can fill us with joy and peace as we anticipate the return and reign of our beloved Savior, Jesus. So that one should be good. And then the very last one kind of doesn't fit into any category, but this one sounded really good, so I thought I would give it a try. It's called The Porcelain Maker, and I noticed I still have a sticker on it. I got all of these from Book Outlet. I find their prices are pretty reasonable. So this one is, I think it's a historical fiction. So it goes from Germany, would you sit down, Germany 1929 to America 1993. Here, what if I give you a box? Huh? Why don't you go play in the box? Play in the box. Cats like boxes. Okay. Germany, 1929. At a festive gathering of young Bohemians in Weimar, two artists, Max, a skilled Jewish architect, and Bettina, a celebrated avant-garde painter, are drawn to each other and begin a whirlwind romance. Their respective talents take them to the dazzling lights of Berlin, but the bright beginning is quickly dimmed by the rising threat of Nazism. Then it goes on from there, and then it says in 1993, Bettina's daughter, Clara, embarks on a journey to trace her roots and determine the identity of her father, a secret her mother kept from her for reasons she's never understood. Her quest to piece together the puzzle of her origins transports the reader back in time to the darkness of Nazi Germany, where life is lived on a razor's edge and deception and death lurk around every corner. So that one sounds excellent too. And I know there was something, I mean, they don't really mention it there, but I know there was a reason for the name of the book. But anyway, it does say that it's got a few people who have kind of, other authors who have said how good it is. One of them is, I've read, sorry, my voice is going. One of them I read, and she wrote Beyond That, the Sea, which I remember being quite good. So hopefully this one is too. So that is the books I got for the book haul. Not too shabby. We have to find a place for them now on the bookshelf, which I don't know how we're going to do, but still, we've got a nice stack of them. So, otherwise, I do have another video I'm going to film maybe after this. Maybe it'll be a little, a day or two. But I wanted to tell you about some books that are coming out in April. And some of them look really good. So I think you'll be pleased with that. A lot of, I think it was a lot of romances and maybe some historical fiction. Not too many cozies this time that I found. So we'll check them out anyway. So that's what's going on here. Wonderful husband is sick. So we're just kind of laying low for now. And I'm hoping the sound of this doesn't mean I'm getting sick. But yeah, other than that, our snow is all gone. We had a big rainstorm with so much wind and so much rain. I was sure that it was like hurricane force. It seemed so bad. And the power went out about 4 times, but thankfully it was just off, on. So not enough, just enough to mess up the clocks. So that was a little annoying, but otherwise everything was good with that. And as for what we've been doing, like I said, not too much. We finished Beast Games, which was really good. Surprising, how people react to money. So that was interesting, but we enjoyed it. We're still watching Survivor number 50. And so far we've been enjoying that one as well. We weren't so sure we were going to watch it, but we started to, and of course we dove right in then. So we've been enjoying that. And yeah, I think that's the main things we've been watching lately. Otherwise, it's just been work and, the usual things. Saturday, we're supposed to go to a trivia competition, trivia game at the church, but I don't know whether that'll happen or not. It's going to depend on how we feel. So that is it for me, and I will be back soon with another video, and I'm sure with more Dudley. So I will talk to you later. Bye-bye. Come on, you got to let me press the button. Press the button.